Well, I guess he had stuff to do. Anyway, back where I was. Oh yeah, Fluid. Bruce Lee, the smartest man in the world. One of the smartest men in the world. I don't want to say one of the smartest men in the world. One of the most awakened people. And I've never had the awesomeness to meet. But there's a piece of him and a part of him and everything, everywhere. Just so you know. That makes me smile. I got chills when I think about that kind of stuff. Be like water. That's what he said. The path of least resistance. Always. Never not the path of never not the path of reason. Never not the path of least resistance. Never. Always find it, seek it, look for it, enjoy it. A life, no stress. No stress. Life, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. Everybody has problems, but they're not problems. They're just situations. And putting anything into what I would consider, quote unquote, a problem or an issue, never give it anything except happy. Even the most wrought after thing that, I'm sure that you could think of in your head. Happy will make it disappear. Happy will make it go away. Happy will take care of it. Happy will clear it. Happy will complete everything to be happy. Once it catches up with itself, happy remanufactures happy. And that starts on the cellular level inside of your body. You're a cellular person. You've got millions of cells in your body. 10,000 cells are created every second because 10,000 cells die. Simple math, simple physics, simple quantum physics. If the cells that are being born are happy out of conception, do you understand what I'm saying when I say conception? Your cells are born every second. Thinking on that note, it will take a while because you have a lot of cells in your body. But trust me on this, once you start the chain reaction, because it's like a nuclear fusion chain reaction. Once your cells start to be produced healthy, they won't ever do anything but produce healthy cells. That means that you can recycle yourself. You can start over under new circumstances. You can trigger a thing in your brain to recoup, to heal, learn, set it in place. When you're a little kid and you go to school, you don't know how to read or write, do math, you don't know how to do none of that. But you know what? Because of repetitious activities that they teach you in school, because some of the strongest minds, we're not going to go there. We're going to back that up. Listen to me. Repetition. They do it because, that's how we learn and that's how you teach. And they don't give you the rest of it. They only give you enough to be a productive person. They only give you enough to go to work, to make money, to buy, consume, and all that stuff. They're not letting you in on the rest of it. We all think we're just, man, we all just think we're running around in these human bodies, running around on this big planet that we live on. And this is what our gig is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not what our gig is. Our thing is not to be born and bred consumers. To consume. That's a dirty word. I don't even like it. It sounds filthy to me. And I don't like filthy words. I like happy words. Happy is production. Happy is building in your mind and in yourself and in your world and your everything. Cellular level, I'm telling you right now, you can rebirth your body. It will heal itself. It will take you as far as it's supposed to. But you have to treat it like the ominous piece of machinery that it really is. Because you drive it, I don't care who you are or where you come from, you drive the mechanisms that are of creation in your mind. Go on to any of the websites you want to, you can find them on there, man. They can do satellite imagery and in heavily populated areas where they do the testing through government, gig, whatever, I don't care how you want to put it. They know by the laws of how people act. They can trigger things to happen, and even if they don't trigger it to happen, they can still do mass studies when things do happen. Riots, tragedy. The satellite imagery does not lie. When you get a group of people to be thinking about the same thing and focus on it, it causes an energy level to be aware enough, to be existing enough for the satellites to pick up on it as they're on top of the planet looking down. Now, I don't know if anybody really understands what that means or not, but it means we're basically a battery, man. We got juice coming out of us, and I'll tell you why. It's because of our hearts. Our hearts are our gateways to everything. Our heart tells everything else what to do. We're not brainiacs. We only use 10% of our brain, people. And I'll tell you why. Your brain is an instrument. It's mindful of itself. It is in the processes that you allow it to be in. No more, no less. You can make it run the way you want it to. You can make it benefit you the way you want it to. Or it can be the one thing that's weighing you down so bad that you don't have anything. I'm on a learning scale of everyday learning. Every day. The first part, mine comes in waves. One day I'll be on this level and I start to think to myself, man, is this it? Is this have I plateaued? Is this as much as my little, 10% is going to be able to handle? And then something happens. Something else finds its way to get to me, to change another concept in my mind, to take me to another level higher than what I was to begin with. And that is awesome. Once you get to a certain point, you just have to ask yourself, or you just have to have the thought. That's, where it's like me saying, is this it? And then bam, something happens. No, that's not it. It's unfolding. Your processes of growth is never going to stop. And the farther you take it, the farther you're going to go. My blank started with a blank. It was in the negative probably, but now there's a picture starting to be drawn on my thing that is almost like a cartoon thing in the newspaper, frame by frame. Unfolding, changing, growing into something beautiful, blossoming. And it's going to cause the reverberation, vibrations come off of us. We're vibrating human beings, or vibrating beings, like vibrating everything. Everything on this planet vibrates. It's got a cycle, vibrates, has a frequency. It's because we're all alive. Everything's alive. The grass is alive. Nikola Tesla said, once you start to view the world as a vibration, being alive, you're going to start to find yourself not part of everything else that you think right now is so important, but none of it really is. I mean, I'm just as much of a human being as everybody else, but there's a lot of things in life that everyone should be enjoying, and everyone is not. The more beings we can have being happy and being good, we literally can change the world. The one thought of one person can change the world, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the one thought of the one person is contributable to the populace. We're all one. Everything is all one. And if everything looked at one as a whole unit and not just the one thing that they are, or they think they are, my 10% couldn't possibly tell you what's possible. I guess there has to be no limitations to think about it, because anything and everything is possible. And if you spend enough time, and when all of it started, getting on the internet and looking at a bunch of crazy stuff all the time, I didn't really get too much of a kick out of it. I enjoyed a lot of stuff that I saw, but I got stuck on other things that really, and then, my everything, that's what I call her, because that's what she is to me. She's every woman in the world. Woo! All of them. Anyway, she is what I would call the key holder for me, because the things that she started to wonder and question got my attention very quickly. And it all started with, I'm pretty sure, processes of she's got a lot of anxieties, and her journey, I think, started because of her anxieties, and she was looking for something that would help her to release her anxieties, or to get past her anxieties, not let her anxieties run her world and run her life. And that's exactly the journey that she's on, except she's way on up there now. You know what I mean? She's farther along than I am. She understands things sometimes a lot better than I do. She's got a freer heart than I do. Mine's still learning. Hers has got less learning, let's say that. She's got a bigger heart than me. But I'm striving. You feel me? I'm striving, and she is, I look up to her. She's one of the most influential people in my life ever. I started to stumble across a lot of things. It started with the pyramids, Mars, Moon, all these little things. And then everything started to really, religion is a waste of time. I think that religion in itself is the embodiment of failure. Man, he needs an explanation. He wants to have somebody over, protecting him, or, whatever. I don't know where it came from, but our Creator isn't quite the way that they describe him to be. Him or her, I don't know. Entity, that's what I suggest. The Creator, no less, and a Creator by nature. Sorry about that. The sheriff on an emergency call. Anyway. No. Our Creator is much different than that. There is no religion that holds our Creator in a box, because Creator by nature doesn't need anything that their God or gods make you believe that He does. If you're a God in the mindset of a human being of God is. If you were a God in your thought process, do you need a tool? Do you need to send your only son to die a horrible, disgusting, terrible death for something that you created? Do you think that a God needs a man to lay his law down on the land? And do you think that a God that says, you are all my children and I love you, but yet I love this group of people more than that group of people, so therefore I'm going to make your life horrible, or I'll just kill your whole civilization? That, my friends, is not a creator. The creator doesn't have rules like that. The creator doesn't have an agenda like that. That is populist control of people from the highest level that you can't possibly fathom yet, because if you're where I think most of you are, you don't really understand that process. But look, this is the process right here. If you're a God, you don't need anything to do a job for something that you created. There's no need in killing the thing that you created. God, in human, that I call human terms, Bible terms, man's terms, is non-existent. There is no dude with a beard lingering around watching you. There ain't no dude lingering around nowhere with a beard doing anything, loving you, taking care of you, feeding you. Our Creator creates, and that's what He does. That's what she does. That's what it does. That's what we do. That's what we've done. We're not doing it now. Man himself is not a creator any longer. We are a consumer, and we live of the body, not of the brain, not of the heart. We live through the body, through the brain, then to the heart. Everybody has to wake up and live from the heart, because when that happens, everything's going to change. The world will change. Religion will fall. Everything else will tumble away. And the happiness and the creative awareness of beauty and awesomeness and love and admiration and happy and thankful, that will replace it. So, as you go on this with me, man, it's going to cover all kinds of things. And there might be some blogs that you say, that's a boring blog. There might be some of them that might intrigue you enough to look at something and maybe get a little bit more intelligent, awake, aware. If nothing else, if I can get you to question something, and maybe I've done something cool for somebody, I don't know. I want to take everybody on my journey. I want everybody to understand, feel it. But I guess that's enough opener. I kind of went loose on the whole thing, because this really does have a base of, I want everybody to go with me on my travels. You know what I mean? I go to cool places. I see cool things all the time. So I might as well share them as much as possible, because already in the past 2.5 years I have seen and learned and grown and done so many things that it's incredible. And now in my mind I'm getting to start that journey all over again with this new job and a new way of trucking, a new way of doing things. So I'm going to take everybody on my journey with me, and hopefully maybe every day or maybe every week or every month I'll have more and more people to share my experiences with, and even maybe some of my crazy chaotic thoughts that I've now allowed to be free. And I want to stay, I try to stay, I want to live, I be living, I'm on it. The words that we choose to use, really, is where some of this lies. The thoughts that we have is where a lot of this lies. But even the things that you say, because it's thought perception, and then you say it. But do you really understand or know where that thought perception is coming from? If it's not coming from happy, you gotta shut that shit down and get it to come from happy. I'm gonna try to get. I am gonna have other things that go on that are gonna bring happiness. Happiness is happiness is happiness. Those are the definitions. And always be super, be bold, and be awake. Bye for now.